Jon Jones, congratulations to you. That was another impressive victory for you. I know when you spoke to us on the weigh-in show, you told us you were going to get a finish. So how good did this feel for you tonight?
Oh, it felt really, really good. You know, my goal was to finish the fight before the championship rounds. You know, I was talking about finishing Daniel Cormier all week, all training camp. That was our expectations. You know, I was telling people in my interviews that I expect more out of myself at this age in my life and at this stage in my career, and I got more out of myself. So it's a blessing.
You know, Jon, there was a whole lot of pressure on you tonight. You come back off a long layoff. You were facing the second greatest light heavyweight of all time. There was revenge on the line. You guys were going back and forth. How much pressure were you feeling heading into this fight?
Honestly, no pressure at all, man. Man, my faith and my belief has grown tremendously. You know, I'm 30 years old now, and I feel like I'm stepping into a different level in my career. And it was weird, man. If you follow me on Instagram and things like that, you'll see lots of photos and videos of me just laughing and enjoying the process. It was almost nerve-wracking how I wasn't afraid. And but it just goes to show me and my team that I'm ready for more.
Jon, obviously, after such a long time away, I thought you came back and you handled the emotions and the pressure fantastically. But going into the third round, did you feel that Cormier was ahead in the fight and you had to pour the pressure on? Because, listen, it was an amazing finish, but, you know, Cormier was connecting a little bit.
Oh, yeah, he collected a lot. Actually, my jaw is pretty numb. He did really good. I felt like I had the first round hands down. I felt like round two and three were pretty competitive before the finish. I thought Cormier did great. I know how much this fight means to him, and you know, I know he put it all out there. I don't know if he has any excuses for his loss, but from my understanding, he had a beautiful training camp, and it feels great to beat Daniel at his best.
You know, Jon, you mentioned you saw that he was dipping down a little bit, and I mean, you couldn't have thrown a kick at the more perfect time. Was that something you saw throughout the fight and you were kind of waiting for that opportunity?
Yeah, you know, I watched the Anthony Johnson fight and our first fight, you know, Daniel came really close to being dropped with left high kicks. And we knew that if we just got him to focus on his hands and boxing, that maybe we can get him to forget about the head kicks and the kicks. And sure enough, we were patient, we waited, and the opportunity presented itself and we took it.
Well, Jon, you're a man that the fans just love to watch. You mentioned kind of a super fight in the octagon afterwards. You mentioned the name Brock Lesnar. What do you think are the chances of that fight really happening?
Well, you know, I'm up for it. You know, I think it's about time for me to be involved in a super fight. And I think that's what the fans really want to see is me challenge myself against a heavyweight. Why not do it against the biggest and one of the most scary heavyweights in UFC history, in Brock Lesnar? He brings a tremendous following, and I just think it would be so great for the sport of MMA.
Well, Jon, you're absolutely right. That would be fantastic, and I, for one, would definitely pay to see that. But that aside, what's next? I mean, if you go to heavyweight, you're going to stay there, or you're going to focus on the light heavyweight division? I mean, you've pretty much ruled the light heavyweight division for a long, long time already.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of fresh blood in the light heavyweight division. We got this Russian guy that fought tonight and won. We got Jimmy. You know, there's fresh blood coming up, and I'd love to rule the light heavyweight division for a while longer. But super fights and things like that, I think now is the time for that. I feel like I don't really have much to prove in this division anymore. Well, people could argue that, but I feel like now is the time to branch out and experiment with some real big fights. Get paid. I haven't fought, man. I've been inactive, so I need a check. Let's get some big fights.
I mean, you make a pretty strong argument there. There's no doubt about that. You've had a lot of highlights, obviously, in your career, Jon. When you look back on this rivalry with Daniel Cormier, how are you going to look back on this?
Man, just this fight symbolizes and represents so much. It represents, you know, my journey and just staying faithful through my mistakes and through the criticism and things like that. I mean, it's been really tough, and I'm not saying poor me at all. I mean, I've been a dumbass, and I've done a lot of things to make myself a laughingstock. But man, I stayed faithful through it all, and now I'm here. So it symbolizes, you know, the power of not giving up, and making a decision to try to do better and getting your life back. And then just to close this chapter with Daniel Cormier, I don't even know why it was such a big thing in the first place. You know, I beat him fair and square the first time, and off of steroids, and I beat him the second time off of steroids. So, you know, it just symbolizes so much, man. I feel complete, and I feel a sense of closure.
Well, Jon, it's really great to have you back. I will say on a side note, though, Kenny and I are pretty sad Chandler Jones is no longer a Patriot. We missed him for the last little while.
Hey, Chandler. Come here.
Fantastic. And really.
I think Chandler's there.
Come on back to the Patriots. Yeah,
hey, so
baby.
they're saying that they're upset. Kenny Flory and Karen Bryan said that they hate that you're not a Patriot anymore. What do you have to say? I'm sure they can hear you.
It is what it is. I'm glad to be a Cardinal. Go Cardinals.
I get it.
Boy.
It is what it is.
You're
The Cardinals were all right, but
He's got a ring, though. He's got a ring.
Yeah, he did.
Hey, and
Chandler,
Jon,
hey,
what's with all this blue belt nonsense?
what's up?
Come on, you submit black belts, but they're giving you a blue belt? What's going on?
Wait. What'd you say? With what?
I said, what's all this blue belt nonsense? I've seen you submitting black belts, and they're awarding you a blue belt? Come on.
I can't hear. I can't understand what you're saying.
Oh, never mind.
I can't understand.
Nobody can.
Well, listen, Chandler,
sorry.
I mean, I have some friends in the Patriots organization. Maybe we can get Chan back just to block the kicks. Come on.
They said maybe they'll get you back.
Yeah, get that paper.
He
Come
said
on,
go
Bob
Cards.
Kraft. Oh, yeah, go Cards.
And big heart.
All right.
Look at
very
this guy.
nice.
Woo.
Hey, listen,
Jones
thank
sandwich.
you so much to you. I know you've just
Love you,
made your night. Your comeback is a wonderful, wonderful story. We're so happy to have you back inside the octagon, Jon, where you truly do belong. Congratulations to you.
Thank you. Hey, thank you guys so
right.
much. God bless you guys.